Picture a man going on a journey beyond sight and sound. He's entered the demilitarized zone.
Good morning, Vietnam! Wow! I feel good. Time to rocket from the Delta to the DMZ.
It's 0600. What's the O stand for?
Oh my God.
It's Mr. Leo.
You know, this whole camouflage thing for me doesn't work very well. Why is that? Well, because you go in the jungle, I can't see you. If you're going to fight, clash.
That is not what we program here.
Surprise! Surprise! Surprise!
You are not funny.
You're not gonna last long here.
Boy, do I have a surprise for you.
Good morning, Vietnam!
In 1965, Adrian Cronauer was sent to do the impossible.
I was sent here on very strict orders from a colonel.
What the hell's going on here?
His mission? To build morale.
Where are you from?
From Cleveland, man.
Obviously, Vietnam's not that much of a change for you.
His strategy? Keep him laughing.
If someone is not telling the truth, you say that they are full of...
His problem? Staying out of trouble.
You ought to stick to playing normal modes of music. Jim Neighbors, Mantovani,
Percy Faith.
Percy Faith, good!
Yeah!
He did a very off-color parody of former VP Nixon.
Seeing as how the VP is such a VIP, shouldn't we keep the PC on the QT? Because if it leaks to the VC, you can end up in MIA and then we'd all be put on KP.
Sir, the man is a walking keg of dynamite.
He's read unofficial news.
Ethel Merman jams Russian radar. Oh, I've got a feeling!
What's he gonna be like in 6 months?
Sheepdogs landing on my face!
What's he gonna be like when he's 10 times as popular?
What's the weather like out there? It's hot. Damn hot. Hot and wet. That's nice if you're with a lady, but it ain't no good if you're in the jungle.
Touchstone Pictures presents Robin Williams as Airman Adrian Cronauer, the wrong person,
Very attractive man, never saw, don't think I haven't noticed.
in the wrong place,
This will not look good on a resume!
at the right time.
Good morning, Vietnam!
What a country. Heat, humidity, terrorism. Still, it's better than New York in the summertime.
Hello and welcome to the 43rd episode of the M-Wire Movie Week in Review. Today we're going to be discussing Good Morning Vietnam. I am TFG on Mike, and as usual I'm joined by Steve Megatron. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Tired.
Yeah. That's about the gist of it.
Yeah, not nearly as bad as your situation.
Yeah, well, we're gonna save on my situation for a while. We'll record a separate, up-to-date thing, because this episode won't air until, I don't know, what is it, 2 weeks from now, or 2 weeks from when we're recording it, or whatever, I don't know, whatever. Let's just say, by the time this episode airs, I could be homeless, which sucks, but
yes,
it's possible. I don't know what the hell's going to happen yet, and I'm not really going to say too much about it in this episode. So, anyway, this really isn't going to be a spotlight or anything. I just kind of lumped, over the next 3 weeks, over the next 3 episodes, this episode 44 and 45, I lumped three Robin Williams movies together because I liked all three of the movies. Good Morning Vietnam, Bicentennial Man, and Good Will Hunting. I put those three together because I like all three of them. It's not really a spotlight to Robin's work, but there are a lot of his movies that I do like, and I was just going off of what I had in my DVD collection. Little did I know, I don't have Bicentennial Man. So, hopefully it will come on TV between the time we record this and the time we record that episode.
yes.
Yes. So, just getting right into it, Good Morning Vietnam is a 1987 American comedy drama film set in Saigon during the Vietnam War, based on the career of Adrian Cronauer, played by Robin Williams, a disc jockey on Armed Forces Radio Service, AFRS, who proves hugely popular with the troops serving in South Vietnam, but infuriates his superiors with what they call his irreverent tendency. The film was written by Mitch Markowitz and directed by Barry Levinson. Most of Williams' humorous radio broadcasts were improvised. Williams was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actor in a Leading Role, This film is number 36 on Bravo's 100 Funniest Movies. When did you first see this?
Probably when I was a little bit younger. I saw this with my mom, so I would say I was probably around 10-ish. And I just remember, like, mostly out of it from that run, Robin Williams' character being goofy and, yelling "Good Morning Vietnam,"
Yep.
and then all of his satirical comments.
Yeah, I actually don't remember when I saw this, and it had to have been, I want to say somebody played it in high school. I could have sworn. Maybe I'm confusing this with Dead Poets. I know that one of my high school professors played either this or Dead Poets Society, and I don't remember. It was probably Dead Poets Society, but I watched this back, and this is a pretty violent film for the most. I mean, it's not violent, like, it's not all the time violent, but just the things that he goes through, as far as what, his bosses are going after him, and, he almost gets blown up in a bomb.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy-ass scenes that are either life or death.
Yep. So getting into the plot here, in 1965, United States Air Force Airman Adrian Cronauer, played by Robin Williams, arrives in Saigon from Crete to work as a DJ for the Armed Forces Radio Service. His first contact is with Private First Class Edward Garlick, played by Forrest Whitaker, whom he unsuccessfully tries to persuade to help chase down a couple of pretty local girls before taking him to the radio station. Cronauer's irreverence contrasts sharply with the rest of the staff and soon arouses an ire of two of his supervisors, Lieutenant Stephen Hawke, played by Bruno Kirby, and Sergeant Major Dickerson, played by J.T. Walsh. Hawke adheres to strict Army guidelines in terms of humor and music programming, while Dickerson is annoyed by Cronauer's behavior in general. However, General Taylor, played by Noble Willingham, and the other DJs quickly grow to like the new man and his brand of comedy. Cronauer's show consists of unpredictable humor segments mixed in with news updates vetted by the station censors and rock and roll records that are frowned upon by his superiors. Hawke finds nothing funny about any of it and tries without success to get him to change his approach. After Cronauer goes off the air, he spots Trine. I can't even pronounce the name of the actress who plays the chick he's going after. One of the Vietnamese girls he tried to chase down earlier. He follows her to an English class, bribing the teacher to let him take over the job. He starts instructing the students in the use of American slang. Once class is dismissed, he tries to talk to Trine, but is stopped by her brother, Tuan. Oh, God. Who tells him to leave her alone. Instead, Cronauer befriends Tuan and takes him into the local GI bar to have drinks with Garlick and the station staff. Two other soldiers, angered at Tuan's presence, start a fight with the group that rapidly escalates into a full-scale brawl. Dickerson reprimands Cronauer for this incident, but the broadcasts and unorthodox English classes go on as usual. Impressed with the DJ's behavior, Tuan sets him up on a date with Trine and the rest of the family, chaperoning them. While relaxing in the bar one afternoon, he is pulled outside by Tuan moments before the building explodes, killing two soldiers and leaving Cronauer badly shaken. The cause of the explosion is determined to be a bomb planted inside. The news is censored, but he locks himself in the studio and reports it anyway. Dickerson cuts off the broadcast signal, and mid-report, Cronauer is suspended. Hawke takes over his time slots, but his poor attempts at comedy and insistence on playing polka music instead of rock and roll lead to a flood of letters and phone calls from servicemen who demand Cronauer be put back on the air. I laughed so hard at that scene. It's like, oh, God.
Yeah, it was always fun watching Robin Williams' character butt heads with everybody else.
Yeah, but the scene with Hawke on the air, oh my God. Give me a break. It's like, let me just hawk a loogie or something. I don't know. It's just, oh my god, polka music? Give me a break. And then the whole bit about Reader's Digest is going to be publishing 2 of my jokes. Like, yeah, that's not comedy.
That's just bad comedy.
In the meantime,
Transformer reference.
Yeah, I got it. Talk about shattered expectations. In the meantime, Cronauer spends most of his time drinking and trying to pursue a relationship with Trine, only to be rebuffed at every attempt. Taylor intervenes on his behalf, ordering Hawk to reinstate him, but Cronauer refuses to go back to work when Garlic brings him the news. He now fears that Dickerson will send him to the front lines if he does anything else wrong. Garlic drives up to the convoy of soldiers stuck in traffic jam and persuades him to do an impromptu broadcast for them. The performance reawakens his love of radio, and he is soon back on the air. You know, I really like that, the impromptu broadcast thing. That was kind of cool. When he's talking to all the soldiers, so you know, when you first watch this film, the first, you know, like, I don't know, half hour of it, or whatever it is, when he's actually on the air before the whole bomb thing happens, you know, you get that he's a really, really cool DJ and whatever else, and then, you know, later on, obviously, he kind of gets into a slump, and then this kind of reawakens him, and I think it was really cool that they did that they, you know, had him interact with some of the soldiers.
Yeah.
Dickerson devises a ploy to get rid of Cronauer by sending him and Garlic to interview soldiers in the field, knowing that only a road into this particular area is controlled by the Viet Cong. As the 2 men drive in the road, their Jeep is blown off it, and they are forced to hide from the VC patrols. Back in Saigon, Ton learns of their trip after Cronauer fails to show up for English class, and then steals a van and drives off after them. He finds them, but the van breaks down, and they must flag down an army helicopter to take them back to the city. At the station, Dickerson confronts Cronauer with evidence that Tuan, not his real name, is VC member and one who planted the bomb and that blew up the GI bar. He will be killed if the army catches up to him. Cronauer's association with the known enemy operative is enough to get him honorably discharged and off the air for good. Once he leaves the office, though, Taylor informs Dickerson that he is being transferred to Guam as punishment for his vindictive attitude. Ooh, that's a good place for him.
Guam.
Yeah. Cronauer finds Trine and persuades her to take him to her brother. Calling out his real name, he chases him into the back lot where the boy angrily accuses Cronauer and the American forces of being the real enemy in this war, killing most of his family. He then slips away. The next day, on his way to the airport, he sets up a quick softball game with the students from the English class. Trine thanks him for warning her about the danger her brother was in. As he boards the plane, he gives Garlic a taped farewell message. Garlic, taking Cronauer's place as DJ, plays the tape on air, and the next morning begins with a yell of "Goodbye, Vietnam!" and runs through a few of Cronauer's impressions, before ending with his wish that everyone will get home safely. I think it's good acting on a lot of these people. You know, you got Dickerson and Hawk, who are technically the villains of the piece, and Cronauer and Garlic, which at first, when I first watched this before we recorded this, I watched it a couple of days ago, but I couldn't stand the way Forrest Whitaker made that little snicker laugh that he does at first.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's getting annoying. But overall, a really, really great film. I don't think there's anything I can say bad about this movie. I really, really enjoyed it. I mostly enjoyed the on-air stuff. What about you?
Most of what I liked of the film was that it had a little bit of a serious part, well, give or take throughout the movie, but at the same time, Robin Williams' comedy was able to flow through into the story and actually fit with it.
Yep.
Being that he could do his little impersonations and make fun of political people, like all of us wish we could do on air. which sometimes we do on air, but it was just cool to see that, and then see him pretty much just say, F you, I'm doing whatever the hell I want.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to be censored, which is basically like how podcasting is.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, but yeah, that was pretty cool of his character, and also to see that he does, despite all of his goofiness, actually care and have a side that you wouldn't have expected his character to have in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Well, this movie came out in 87, and I'm just looking at the cast here. Robert Wall. Wow. I never knew. I don't know if it really hit me because I don't know, but that is Alexander Knox from Batman. From the 89 Batman.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So 2 years before he was Alexander Knox, he was Marty Lee Drewitz.
Jeez.
Yeah. As far as the production goes, in 1979, the actual, because I mean, this is based off of a real guy. I mean, this isn't just some period piece that they're making up. This is based off of a real person. Adrian Cronauer decided to pitch a sitcom based on his experiences as an AFRS DJ. TV networks were not interested because they did not see war as comedy material, despite the fact that one of the most popular shows at the time was MASH. Cronauer then revamped his sitcom into a script for Movie of the Week, which eventually got the attention of Robin Williams. Very little of Cronauer's original treatment remained after writer Mitch Markowitz was brought in. The film was shot in Bangkok, Thailand. Let's see here. Awards. It was recognized by American Film Institute in 2000. AFI's 100 Years, 100 Laughs. It was number 100. Wow, that's kind of hitting it below the belt.
Yeah.
It does have. I mean, this movie has a ton of 60s and 70s music in it. I think it has a great soundtrack to it. The soundtrack album included only the songs indicated with an asterisk above. It was certified platinum in the U.S. The Louis Armstrong song was released as a single and became a top 40 hit 20 years after its original release. Let's see here. Possible sequel. Early in 2007, Robin Williams was seen mulling over a script that was written for a sequel to the movie. Williams said that he has been, quote, reading over the script and it is really good so far. No other information is known as yet. I hope to God they don't do a sequel. I mean,
with original people, yeah, it could be pretty decent, but at the same time, that war's been done and over with. What the hell are they going to do now? The Iraqi war?
Oh, I know.
Be like an old man?
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing, though. You know, that's the thing now. I'm kind of going to contradict myself a little bit here. I mean, there are some actors that can
enter a role.
Re-enter a role that they've done for, like, say, well, the obvious one would be Eddie Murphy as Axel Foley, because I was going to go for Mel Gibson as Riggs, but he's changed way too much physically to even, as far as looks, to even, try to play Riggs again. But, there's some that can kind of come back to it and be, oh yeah, that's great, whatever. But it just, I hope to God Robin Williams does not do a sequel to this. I hope to God this sequel is never made, because it's going to take away from the original film, and plus it was a period piece made in '87. I mean, it's kind of like updating a Christmas Story now. It's kind of like, say they made another Christmas Story. Well, what are you going to base it off of? You can't base it off of the 30s and 40s that the original was based off of. And it's like, what the hell? God.
Yeah.
Pisses me off.
And that's what he has to say about the sequel.
Yes, exactly. Hey, I'm muffled bad, so I don't want to hear nothing. I don't even care. Michael Wilson isn't here. He doesn't even listen to this podcast, so oh well.
The complainer.
Yes, exactly. Let's not get into that. Oh, shit. Alright, you have any other thoughts on Good Morning Vietnam?
Good Morning Michigan.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think that would work as a sequel.
Oh, why not?
I don't know, I just don't think that would work as a sequel.
You'd have people with guns, knives, bulletproof windows. What more could you ask for?
Some actual comedy?
There is poverty and bums in the street that piss themselves. They take shift changes on the corner with their signs and their bicycles.
For a second there, I thought you were going to say shit changes on the corner.
Oh, you sometimes do see them take a leak.
Oh, God. I was going to say, unless there's a Megatron fucking a Barney, I don't want nothing to do with it.
I don't think anybody would want to see Megatron fucking a Barney.
Well,
it would be fucking scary.
Talk about putting your gun up somebody's butt.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us here on Movie Weekend Review. There's several ways to get in contact with us or leave feedback for the show. Visit the website, geekcastradio.com. You can comment on each post. Join the forums, PredaconEmpire.com/Nexus. Leave the show's feedback in iTunes. Please do this. Follow us on Twitter, GCRN, MWire, TFG and Mike or mine. What is your Twitter?
SCP-21.
Become a fan on Facebook. Search Geekcast Radio Network. Call the voicemail line. Tell us the show you're leaving a message for and your name. 502-526-5821. We recently, about 3 weeks ago, became partners with Blogomatic3000.com. They are, quote-unquote, deemed our UK affiliate. Basically, the terms are, I will send them weekly updates on the podcasts that have already aired every Sunday or Monday, and they'll do a blog post on their website about it, and I basically just, we'll say something about their reviews or something at the end of every podcast episode. Yeah, be sure to check them out. There's a lot of geek news websites out there, like Geek Tyrants and all that stuff, but these guys are pretty cool, so yes, check those out.
Yes.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of MWire and wish you'll join us next time. We'll be reviewing Bicentennial Man. For now, I am TFG on Mike with
Steve Megatron Phillips.
Thank you for listening. Until next time.
Good morning, Vietnam. This is Eddie Garlic coming to you live from AFRS, Armed Forces Radio Saigon. It's 16:29 hours here in Saigon, and Airman Adrian Cronauer is going home today. But he left a farewell message for all you guys out there still sweating it out in the fields. So, without further ado, here's a farewell extravaganza.
Goodbye, Vietnam! That's right. I'm history. I'm out of here. I got the lucky ticket home, baby. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep them wagon rolling, rawhide.
Yeah, that's right, the final Adrian Cronauer broadcast. And this one is brought to you by our friends at the Pentagon. Remember the people who brought you Korea. That's right, the U.S. Army. If it's being done correctly, here or abroad, it's probably not being done by the Army.
I heard that.
Oh, you're here. Good to see you.
I'm here to make sure you don't say anything controversial.
Speaking of things controversial, is it true that there is a marijuana problem here in Vietnam?
No, it's not a problem. Everybody has it.
I don't know, Adrian. Leo. Adrian, take care of yourself. I just want you to know one thing. If you're going to be dressing in civilian clothes, don't forget pumps.
Thank you, Leo. Thanks for these. Oh, these are special.
The ruby slippers, Adrian. Put these on and say, there's no place like home. There's no place like home, and you can be there.
I hope we all could.
In a world, there, I said it, happy,